All right, what's up, good people? It's your boys, Beards of War, back again with another Wild Hair episode. You got myself, the Chocolate Avenger, Thick Nick Fury, the Conductor of Chaos, Captain Jack. Hey, man, Fat Broker Rambo, and Scorched Earth, man. They're gonna have something for you guys next week. We're looking forward to what they have coming, but what we got going on right now is A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Season 1, Episode 5. To say this episode is epic would be an understatement. Okay, it gives me a whole new appreciation for jousting and medieval times and knights and all this stuff. And I think just the way they're portraying this is next level. It gives you a real feel for how brutal and just in depth and just how just crazy it is and chaotic. And I don't know, man. We'll start it off with we got the trial of the seven, and Duncan and his team is they're in for the fight, man. They're in for the fight. It gets off to a rough start. It's kind of like you got Egg out there holding the lance. Like, okay, man, you ready? Here you go, right? And he just hands him the lance, and it's like he sees Thunder is Duncan's horse. He's kind of like, all right, man, let's go. Like, hey, up, go, go. Remember, we trained, we practiced this. Go. And then Duncan's kind of sitting there, kind of shell shocked, like, oh, okay, all right, I got my helmet on. I see people charging. Like, let's go. And he finally charges in, and dude, as soon as he charges into that fight, it goes south.
Yeah.
Almost immediately. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was crazy. I mean, you just see him go down, right? Like boom. And then it's blackout. And then what do
Yeah.
they do to us
He gets
first?
so he gets the so in the initial joust, he gets the lance right into like his side. And I mean breaks it off. So he's been impaled. And it's like, okay, so he kind of not brushes it off, but he understands what happened. He pulls it out. And then here he comes and was it Darien?
Yeah,
Comes
Darren.
back with his sidearm, which is a mace to the face. There's like no chance to react. Duncan's like, okay, I just pulled this big long like lance out of me, and then boom, here comes the mace to the face, knocks him out, and sends him directly into a flashback, which seems to be the. I understand. Like I'm taking a nap too at that point, and so we flash back to young Dunk, who was kind of scavenging over a battleground, and this is where we run into Rafe, which seems to be a childhood sweetheart of Dunk's, and their goal is to kind of scavenge enough money so they can go somewhere else because right now where they live in Flea Bottom, it's kind of like Skid Row from Little Shop of Horrors, if you know, you know. And they just want to get out. Rafe probably more so than Dunk. I think Dunk's kind of just following her through, and it quickly shows their relationship, what the intent is, and Rafe has more of a need to get out and see what else the world has to offer. Dunk's a little bit more apprehensive, and it gets kind of that's another scene that is very telling in how these characters progress, and I think it was a great flashback, and it showed like Rafe and her like vagabond tendencies. So they run into one of these guys. I wouldn't call him a knight, some kind of a warrior. He's like already missing a hand, like the little jerk
That's
that every
the one
town
of the
probably
the
has.
the gold cloaks. You're talking about the gold cloak
Right,
that they
Alistair,
run
I think
into?
his name was.
Yeah.
Right, so then she lifts the little uh
His wine
sack of
purse or his
wine purse,
wine,
yeah, wine
whatever it's
purse.
called.
Right, so it's kind of like a little stick it to him kind of thing. They go to leave, they find out that the fare is doubled, so now they don't have enough money to get out. Of course, they run into him later. He's like, "Oh, you stole my flask, my leather flask. Where is it?" Like, "Oh yeah, we don't have it." That kind of thing. And again, kind of give him a hard time, like the little bullies or whatever. And as in true Ray fashion, man, she gets ready to leave and she swipes his knife off of him, right? But unfortunately, he caught onto her pretty quick. He grabs her knife back and cuts her throat. And I'm like, what? And I mean, that caught me off guard. I'm like, wow, that dude just literally killed this girl right there. And Duncan goes off. He attacks him. He tries to bite him. And, so he's fighting with Alistair. And then the other guy comes in and like stabs Duncan in the back of the calf. And that's when we see him. Sir Arlen comes out, man, fresh from drinking, like, get off the boy. And he just like goes to work on these two guys, man, and attacks them. And it's kind of like that's where you see the transition from, Dunk and Rafe to Dunk and Arlen. He kind of follows him through without really making himself known. But he follows them, and his horses and kind of just tags along at a distance, kind of, wanting to be with him since he is now seeing him as his savior.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that stuck out to me in this episode, just kind of up to what we've talked about so far, um, is there's a moment where Rafe is like, "Hey man, like we gotta go, we gotta get out of here," and Dunk is real hesitant to leave, right? Like
Hmm.
he seems like he's only been hesitantly, along for the ride with this because, he does love Rafe, but the real thing, and this is something that they mentioned in the last episode as well, something about boys loving their mothers, right? Rafe is sitting there holding out hope. Not Rafe, Dunk. Dunk is sitting there holding out hope that his mom would come back for him. And he's like, I'm not stupid. I know she's dead, but if I'm not here, she won't be able to find me.
Hmm.
And I just thought that was really interesting because I don't know if you remember, in the last episode, they talk about how the oh, firstborn son, mommy must have loved you too much, right?
Right, right.
The secondborn sons, they fight like hell. Little foreshadowing in that episode. We didn't know, but
Hmm.
now we know.
Now we
We'll
know.
we'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah, man, like there's this thing about mothers, which I think is so interesting that they're pulling in, right? Because he's an orphan and he's like just totally hesitant to leave the shores. So okay, cool. So that's that. We go through, we find this origin story, and we see a lot of Sir Arlen dancing drunk.
Right. And so we also see Arlen of Pennytree singing in Dothraki. I know this because of closed captioning, because I didn't know the song. And if you remember, Dothrakis were from Game of Thrones, Jason Momoa's like tribe of like horse warriors or whatever,
And
which
they're
kind of led me
across
to
the narrow
believe like,
sea.
is that why he has the three horses, right? So, from what I do know, he is still a hedge knight, so he's not a Dothraki. But I'm pretty sure he must have rode with those dudes at some point in his past. So Arlen has a sordid past that we don't know very much about. But whatever it is brought him to where he is, and Duncan now, being, trailing behind him, trying to, I guess take him, get under his wing, so to speak. And you kind of go from that to, you see Arlen tell him get up, and then you flash back to the present where he's already down in the mud, and he's like, oh man, okay, you just took some rough hits, man. Let's go, let's get it together. And it's like he never got it together. Like it just got worse. He wakes up to like another mace to the face. I'm like, oh come on, man, like this is rough. I mean, it was just and Aerion is a seasoned warrior, right? He's a seasoned knight, so he knows all the tactics and techniques. And Duncan's just kind of a big brutal like goof, man. He's just trying. He's swinging hard and he's fighting, but it's out of pure like passion. It's not any type of real skill, but he is fighting with everything in him, and he's getting the motivation to just kind of just keep going. He literally takes like a blade to the eye. I'm like, oh, dude, like, oh man, are you gonna survive this, right?
Yeah.
And then you see him, he fights back. He gets Aerion in the leg pretty good with the broadsword. And I'm like, oh man, he might have killed him. Femoral artery. I'm thinking, okay,
Right?
he might have taken him out. And I mean, Duncan is taking such hits, man. He's like staggering around. He's bleeding profusely from the face, and he just kind of goes down. He gives you the death eye, like when they close their eyes, like okay, he's just passed out. But when the eyes are open, like oh man, they're gonna Stark us, man, from Game of Thrones. They're gonna take out the main character in season one. I don't know how this is gonna go. And like what is Egg down the main character? So it took me down that road immediately. I'm like, no way they killed this guy, man. No way they killed him in the first season. And he's just kind of laying down there, and Eggs just kind of telling him, "Get up, just get up." And he's, just you like, dude, I think he's dead. I'm like, I think he's dead, man. I can't believe you killed him, And I'm tripping, and then you kind of see he finally snaps out of it, right? And then he gets up and he goes right back to work, man. It's like that Rocky moment with Mickey, like, get up, Rock, get up. And it's like he gets up, he's fighting back, and he finally gets the upper hand on Aerion, and he gets him to yield. Now,
Yeah.
at first, when he said it, he whispered, "I'm like, oh, you dirty bat!" Like he's gonna do some dirty, rotten, low down thing. I said, "No, make sure he lets them know that he said he yielded." I can see Duncan kind of let his guard down, and then Arian like attacking him from the back or something like that. But no, he dragged him over to the people. He said, say it out loud," and
Yeah, he
he said,
grab him
"No,
by
man,
the
he ain't do
ankle,
nothing."
tearing him
Yeah,
across the lawn, lift him
exactly.
up,
And it's just, and while this is all going on, all the other knights are just fighting, man. Like, and I
and
think
hard.
that's
It's like
right.
nobody's letting up. Nobody's letting up. It's like there's tension.
it was constant like battle, and that's what I really the first time you really seeing that of this type of medieval fight like with knights and all that, where you had two guys fighting, and all of a sudden the guy just runs up and boom hits you with a mace across the face while you're fighting somebody else, and the brutality of them just going on the ground pounding each other in the mud and the horse shit all over the place, and it's like man, this is crazy, man. It's like an insane battle. I truly appreciated that aspect of it, man. Just the scenery, the cinematography of it, was so well done, man.
Yeah, no, cinematography was awesome. As we talked about in the last episode, for actually, I'm gonna hold on for a sec.
Mhm.
Shout out to Jaybird 160. This episode was awesome, right? Like it was so good.
Yeah,
Definitely one of the best. And to be honest, this might have been one of the best Game of Thrones episodes, just like the
absolutely,
whole
absolutely,
franchise.
absolutely.
I the flashback was a little long for me, but
But I thought it was very
but it was
telling. It was,
it
it was
I'm sure it's setting something up. I'm sure
right.
it's setting up a big payoff. I'm excited for that. Really can't wait to see where they go with that. But yeah, no, I think that when they did the when he wakes up and everything, he comes back and he's just trying to get into it, and you're just like, dude, are you gonna do this? Like, there's real doubt there. There's real doubt. Like,
I'm
this
telling
guy's
you,
just
man.
laying
I'm
there.
like throw in the towel. I'm like
Yeah,
throw the damn towel.
everybody fighting so hard just makes me think like there's real emotion, there's real tension between the people who showed up to be a part of this trial of the seven, because
Right.
like the brothers are going at it, right? And the younger brother going against his older brother, like
Hmm.
they're gonna pay that off. Holy crap, right? Like, wow.
Oh man, do we want to get into that now? Ugh, the
That's
aftermath.
where we're at. That's where we're at.
Whew, the
So
aftermath of the battle when you start assessing your injuries and or deaths. And we already know that Dunk is taking some hits, and guys like, okay, well, they just kind of push the chain links into the flesh or whatever. We can fix that with some burning oil. I'm like, that sounds pleasant. And then Baelor just walks in like, nah, he needs burning wine, burning oil will kill him. That's very matter of factly, and he's like, yeah, they lost like two knights. I forget the names, but none of the main guys. And
broken
then
leg guy and the other guy.
right, and then he's like, "Hey, can you guys help me with my armor?" He's like, he cracked the visor. He's like very matter of factly, and like, yeah, okay, they're taking it off. It's like, yeah, it's kind of crushed along the back here. And when they pull off his helmet, like their face is just like, like I can see what you're thinking right now, and like he just kind of puts his hand back there. And he's like. Yeah, it's my brother. He swings pretty hard. So his brother was the one that did it to him. Makar, whatever. So like,
Yeah.
oh man, mace to the back of the skull, bro, and Baylor dies right there. I'm like, oh man, like it was. It's one of those things where you got to think at those times what is the doctor? I don't even know who the doctors are. Like, some dude that's like, well, normally like there's an encased thing here. I don't know. Let's put some dirt on it. Like, I don't even know what you would do for a situation like that. But it was just so, and it might have been shock. But he's like, yeah, my hands feel like wood. So you could tell he was like in shock about what happened, but he was just so chill about it, man. And I'm talking about his whole head is caved in the back, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna cause some problems. That's
Yeah.
gonna that's gonna raise the family tension quite a bit. So there's some fractures for sure.
But there's not fractures. There's missing skin.
Yeah, skin and
That
bone.
skull be pulled away, man. That was
Oh,
insane.
he was looking
Yeah.
at the helmet like,
Service connected
there's
for
a piece
sure.
in here. I think you might need this. I don't know. How do we put this back? But yeah, man. It again. This was and they pack so much into under an hour, and that's the beauty of the show is you don't have to dedicate. Oh man, I gotta sit down to give it an hour and a half. No, give me 40 minutes. Give me 40 minutes, and I'm gonna take you on a ride. Like
The
I'm gonna give
bang
you
for the buck on
backstory.
these.
I'm gonna give you action. I'm gonna get you engrossed in the character stories, all in 40 minutes, and it's been just great to watch. Hearing Egg, like they're getting ready to blow the horn on him, getting ready to blow the whistle, and he's like, "Wait!" And you can hear this dude's little voice over the entire arena. Like he's like, "Wait!" And then boom, Dunk gets up, and that's when he goes to town and takes care of Aerion and all that stuff. But it was just an epic episode, and I can't wait to see how episode 6 is. next week, which is the final episode, unfortunately. But like
Crazy,
I
right?
said, man, we got FBR and Score Stuff on deck, man. They're gonna have something for you guys next week. But Cap Jack and I, we enjoy the Game of Thrones stories. We did House of the Dragon. What it seems like 8 years ago now.
It feels like it.
Are we getting another season? Like, what's going on, man? We love doing Game of Thrones type shows, and if you have not seen Night of the Seven Kingdoms, please, like, do yourself a favor and watch it. It takes place prior to Game of Thrones, prior to House of the Dragon, I believe, as well.
Which one?
But yeah, I
No, no,
say,
no.
is it?
It's 100 years. So Game of Thrones is at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have A Night
House
of
of
the
the Dragon.
Seven Kingdoms, which is a
Okay.
hundred years before Game of Thrones,
Okay.
and then House of the Dragon is like 1,000 years
Oh,
before that.
really? Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
this is
it's
the
a
middle
full
course.
millennia. Because remember, the
Okay.
dragons are all still alive. They still have all the
That's
dragons
right. That's right. Yeah.
in House of the
Sometimes I think they're
Dragon.
just like hidden somewhere. Like I watch Witcher, and sometimes there's a dragon just hiding out somewhere. But
Well, we know
yeah,
the
man.
dragons like to guard gold, right? So,
Yeah, yeah, that part. And eat goats.
yeah, there you go.
All right.
All right, so I looked it up before we got on, and
Mm-hmm.
there are a bunch of fan theories about one particular aspect of this episode,
Okay.
and that was Sir Arlen Pennytree singing in Dothraki when he was drunk.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna read them out, and then if you're watching and you got any theories about what we're gonna see in episode 6, I still want to talk about that after this.
Right.
But yeah, let's go on through this. So okay, so the first one is just that basically he's an old sellsword from Essos. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really common for a lot of these Westerosi knights to join up and become sellswords, and they cross the narrow sea and they go to the free cities and they go and they'll either fight against the Dothraki or with the Dothraki. So that's the first one, right? Like it's just the old concept. That's fun.
Yeah. And yeah, man, like it's I know there's definitely some history there. So Arlen has, like I said, he's got a crazy past, you can tell. It's kind of like he doesn't have a home, he's like a Papa was a Rolling Stone. So he lives off the land. So he's absolutely come across Dothraki. In what capacity? I guess that remains to be seen, right? So I guess we'll explore more about Arlen and his past and kind of how we get here. But at least we did get to see the origin of Duncan and Arlen's relationship. We got to see where it starts. I'm pretty sure during some point we're going to see the progression of that relationship up until Arlen is buried by Duncan, which is in episode 1. But I'm already on board with Arlen. I think the dude is just awesome. He's like that old, gritty warrior that's like, hey man, let's leave the boy alone. He came out, I mean, for those dudes drunk and handled business,
Yep,
So when you got it, you got it. You know what I'm saying? If you're that old dude, you got that DD 214 in hand, you don't forget how to handle business. All right. And Arlen remembers how to handle that business. And
for
hey
sure.
man, you fuck with a vet, you get the horns.
There you go. All right, so that was theory one was basically that he was just a wandering soldier who'd gone over and done his thing, right? So then theory two is just that he's got unreliable memory. It's a fever dream because he's knocked out, right? So that's
Mhm.
kind of a less interesting one. It's a little bit more boring in my mind. Like I'd like to see one that actually projects possibility, right? Something different.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so for that, we'll get to number three, which is foreshadowing the Targaryen Essos connection, right? So we know that Targaryens are Valyrian. Valyria
Hmm.
is from Essos, and the Dothraki are in Essos. So maybe Arlen had Dothraki exposure. It just kind of shows the fact that Westeros is not isolated, that the knights and the wars spill across the continents, and then kind of fills out the diaspora of Valyrian people coming and going from
Yeah.
Westeros.
I mean, all great theories. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing off the table because we don't know, right? Only people who know are the showrunners. But yeah, I love conspiracy theories. I love ideas of people taking it a different way, and all of them can potentially work, right? Like, I like the idea of Arlen having a little bit of dementia. I mean, who's diagnosing dementia back in those days, right? Like, hey man, did you know you just did this? Like, I don't remember anything. Okay, well, Alzheimer's. I don't know when that term came about, but before then, there was still stuff going on with people in their memories, right? Like, I don't know what I would have diagnosed Baelor with the back of his head missing. I don't know what you would call that. Um, Cranial missing pieces. I don't know, but like this part of this is still in the helmet, bro. I don't know if you need this part, but it
You
held his
do.
brain in.
You
There's
do.
something in there. But I'm sure
Yeah.
they've seen some gruesome injuries and that type of environment. Like I said, those knights, I mean, getting crushed. I mean, those maces were like secondary weapon. It wasn't even like the main weapon, just your secondary. And
Yeah.
he just pulled it out like bing, and now you got this big metal ball with spikes in it hitting your helmet. And I was just waiting for somebody to come take Duncan's head off, man. Like, oh dude, he didn't even have his helmet on and he's stumbling around. That's just classic, you're about to be beheaded. Like if you've watched those types of movies, anytime you got the guy doing the birds flying around his head, here comes the broadsword and the head's flying off, whatever. But he survived it. We don't know if he lost an eye, but he took a blade to the eye. So I'm like, ouch. That
Yeah,
he
he
may
may
he may
be a
have lost.
one-eyed pirate going forward. Who knows?
Yeah.
But all right, so I got one more theory that I saw that I think is the one that I'm most excited about.
Okay.
And so we saw in this episode they had just in the flashback they are talking about the end of the Blackfire Rebellion, right? So
Right.
Daemon Blackfire is one of the Targaryens that basically tried to overthrow the main throne line, right? So there
Mm-hmm.
was somebody trying to come over and do a rebellion, the Blackfire Rebellion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a possibility that Sir Arlen may have been somehow linked to the Blackfire Rebellion, right? So I think that's really interesting. We got that foreshadowing, right? We've got Dunk trying to sell that leather belt
Mm-hmm.
that was the
The
Darkfire or
Blackfire.
Blackfire
Yeah.
belt.
He's like, that's no good here, man. Get it out of here.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So I'm curious. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe we're gonna see some more of that backstory. I'll be really curious to see if Arlen gets explained any more. I mean, this is the most I think we've seen of him, really,
Oh, I
right?
think we definitely get more Arlen backstory. I don't see how they could, because that basically makes Duncan who he is. So we're gonna get more flashbacks. Like I said, it just kind of met, right? So this is how they met. Okay, cool. You buried him in episode one. You met him in episode five. How do we get like what's all the in between, right? So there's going to be a lot of story there. I think giving us more background on who Arlen actually was and how he trained Duncan. 'Cause remember, there's a whole thing where he's like, "Yeah, he only hit me when I deserved it," and that kind of thing. So there's a lot of history there, which kind of forced him into who he is, and him still being an honorable person. It's not like it turned him into someone who wants to beat on kids or anything. It didn't turn him into an abuser. So he's obviously learned some type of um, like honor from Arlen, right? So I think we're gonna get probably more into that. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I'm already on Team Arlen of Penny Tree, bro. That dude is just like this. I'm just fresh from drinking, throwing up and everything. I mean, hold on, I'll be with you in a sec. I'll be with you in a second. And as I'm taking the heads off, giving it to the pigs, So and just walks off like nothing. Like okay, we're done here. Didn't even check to see if the kid was all right. His poor girlfriend is took a knife to the throat and she's done. And she also said, there's always it never ends, right? Like she talked about when Pudding went after Cedric and then Cedric's brother went after them. So it's like it never ends. So
The revenge game.
this is
Yeah,
right. That's why she wanted to kind of find a different place to go. And Dunk's like, well, how do we know this isn't the best there is? And she's like, well, then that would be sad.
that would be
You know,
really sad.
right?
Yeah,
So yeah, yeah.
it
So
does feel
we
like
got
it's
to see
probably right
that.
though.
But yeah, right. Like the best place is where you're at. I guess I don't know.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited. I think they've done so much better with this season than I think any of us really expected. Um these are novellas, so they're short stories.
Hmm.
So they have had I think because they're not, trying to reproduce these 600-page books, they have so much more space to be creative
Right.
and I think it's kind of freeing, right? Because the fans can just be like excited to see it because they're filling in so many details. I mean, we've heard people like Bran talk about some of these characters
Mm-hmm.
in Game of Thrones, and we've heard people like Arya reference them, right? But like
Right.
now we're seeing it, and they get to put whatever they want into it, you know? So
Absolutely.
it's really fun.
Yeah, I think short stories. And also, like when you watch like an anthology series, right? That there's not one episode that let directly lead to another. I think it's so freeing because it does give you that creativity to like, man, I'm gonna give you everything in this one short episode that's gonna take you through the entire, gamut of beginning to end, and it's gonna close it up perfectly. I'm like, man, and it's a series, and it's each episode is leading into another, but they're all also independent of each other. So it's
Yeah.
just a phenomenal series so far. Like I said, they're leaving you wanting more. I mean, that's kind of like the telltale sign of a great show where you can't wait to see what happens next, and then you're upset when it's over. It's like, oh man, I'm like how long? Like I'm gonna wait 18 months to see, season two. Like just don't leave us wait that long. HBO Max, you guys have been on point, man. You had this, yeah. Welcome to Derry. You got a bunch of stuff that's been great so far this season. But I'm definitely looking forward to next week, man. On the 22nd, I believe the next episode drops, and how they're gonna close this out. And I can't see them kind of going backwards on the storyline. I think they're gonna go full speed ahead, and it's gonna leave us with a holy crap moment for the season finale.
Yeah. I had one more thing that kind of popped up into my mind, and that was Maester Aemon. Do you remember Maester Aemon from Game of Thrones?
Yes, yes.
He is
What you gotta, you
he's a
gotta.
Targaryen,
Okay.
and he's alive in this timeline.
Hmm. Right. Okay.
So
Okay.
so I'm really curious to see. He should be a really young guy. He should be a really young guy studying. So
Right.
I'm is it Egg? I don't think so, because that's
No, I don't
Aegon
think
and
it's
he was
egg.
Aemon.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so who's he gonna be? So it'll be cool to see if they link it up and there's some sort of conversation there, you know, but I don't know. This 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 whole world is so fun. The fantasy
Yeah.
is great. The about 30-minute episodes has really just packed all of the punch right in. I think it's so
Hmm.
cool. I'm loving
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
What do you think is gonna happen next episode?
Like I said, man, the Targaryens got problems. That's gonna be deep because now you got brother against brother. You got Egg, who's also kind of like on the outside now because he's back in Duncan. So there's a family that's been split literally. Um,
House divided.
right, and it seemed as though Baylor and Egg were the only ones that were really Team Duncan. So now
Yup.
with Makar and Darian, who's gonna stop him now? Who's gonna keep him in check? He took
But and
Baylor out.
we don't even know if Egg's other brother is alive still. They
Right.
didn't
Yeah.
show us.
Right.
So we're gonna find out presumably in episode 6. But I am foreshadowing that episode 6, I won't spoil it, but it is an egg. Junko done. Junk Odin says in the chat. All right, well that's good. We're gonna find out who it is. Because I do remember reading about it, but I couldn't find it while I was searching online today. So
Okay. All right.
yeah, all right. So somebody out there knows, which means it's part of the canon. So that's cool. It's gonna be excited to see that. Um, but I'm thinking, episode 6 is gonna be a big cliffhanger. There's gonna be Makar and Darien searching for Dunk, trying to kill him, and Dunk and Egg are gonna hit the road and they're gonna be on the run in Essos. Like 100%, that's what I think is gonna happen.
Yeah, because like I said, they have no one to kind of keep him at bay. That Baylor is gone,
Yeah.
so there's no one to kind of keep that line, total line, so to speak. But well, no, because Egg did say he has to deal with his father.
When the
Right?
problem is, like, everybody saw that he withdrew the thing. So them trying to kill him will kind of be like going against, the law, right? Like if they don't
They don't
respect
respect. They don't
the
respect it. You
trial
already
of the
know
seven,
Darian doesn't. Like they already know. Like they don't. They really. Who cares about what a knight stands for? They don't have the honor code.
yeah.
So yeah, that's not gonna mean anything. They're gonna
But I
move
think it'll
forward.
start an uprising, right? Like, I mean, it's kind of This is the kind of thing where a unnamed person, kind of came in and stood up to the bloodline,
Targaryens, right?
to the
And,
Targaryens, and then now
and I
they're
could
gonna
see
be like,
that.
no,
Like I see Duncan's, following growing,
yeah.
because he took on the Targaryen, and people started like the one lady in the crowd. She's like, yeah, like she stood up cheering for him, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, okay, I'm
She was a
starting to get
little too early.
fans,
She was a
right?
little too early.
So, hey, I'm already Team Duncan and Egg. Duncan
Yeah.
and Egg. But yeah, but I can't wait, man. I can't wait to next episode. I can't wait to share with you guys when it comes out. And please, by all means, man, let us know. We appreciate the comments. For those who have been jumping in the chat and kind of letting us know what you guys think. Definitely let us know if there's other shows out there that you feel are great watches. Let us know, man. We're 100% open to checking those out. But this one right now, hands down, is probably the best thing on TV as far as I'm concerned. And
Yeah.
we're
What are
more than
you
happy to
excited
bring it
about
to you.
for when it goes off?
Uh, dude, when I say excited, it's kind of I'm at the point now where, all right, let's wrap this up, right? Like we've done the series from, uh, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to watch the entire series over again to know exactly where I need to be, and that kind of gets a little bit uh, cumbersome. It's a heavy lift, right? It's a heavy lift to try to stay on top of multiple shows. But then when there's such a gap in between, you start blurring the lines a little bit. You start forgetting, like, oh well, why is that relevant? So you miss Easter eggs because it's not fresh in your mind. So even this, with everything I wanted to show, I think you and I both rewatched it because it was like just so much, and we didn't want to do it a disservice by missing out on certain points. And it's hard to do that when a show that has like 4 seasons in. But I'm excited for From. We've also done Yellow Jackets, which I'm kind of waiting to see where they wrap that up. Um, but yeah, I would say those two shows are probably what I'm most probably excited for coming forward. And whatever decent movies can tend to pop up in between that time, but there hasn't been much. There really hasn't been much in the theaters. Uh,
TV and streaming has been saving us. That's the sad part when it comes down to these shows. What are we doing with the movie theaters? Like we got to get some better movies, get some better
uh,
films out. We're gonna have Doctor Doom come back and try to see
right?
if they can restart Marvel's heart. I don't know.
But man, I think that's kind of where we're in that era now. We're in the DoorDash era where I can get it home, I'll have it at home. So I do prefer the movie theater experience, especially with certain movies, right? Like watching Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War. You had to watch that in the theaters, man. I mean, come on. Like,
Absolutely.
you kind of miss that, everyone kind of at the same time having the same feelings and enjoying that moment. And for people who like, oh, I need to hear every word, yeah, don't go to Avengers movies on opening weekend. That's all I can tell you. Because people are gonna geek out, so you have to kind of take it for what it is. You can always rewatch it on Disney when it streams. Like, just don't take it too seriously. But enjoy it. Enjoy socializing with people. Enjoy talking to people about it after it's over. I mean, you forge relationships that way, believe it or not. People still talk to each other face to face. Everything that had to be through a screen and all that stuff. So I think it's important. I do think, unfortunately, movie theaters are going away to bowling alleys and the roller skating rinks. It has a
Maybe
time.
though, but I don't know. I think people love them so much. It's hard. I do got to call out Junkodon commented Project Hail Mary should be awesome next month. And if
Okay.
you've read the book, it's such a cool book. Such a cool book. It's written by the same guy who did the Martian. Um, Such a great book. Project Hail Mary. If he screws that one up, I don't know what to say. What's the guy's name? What is his name? IMDb.
I don't know. I don't know, man. You got me a
Project Hail
book,
Mary.
like a
Uh,
book.
Ryan
Uh,
Gosling. Ryan Gosling is
okay.
is going to be playing the main character. So that's a really cool movie. Hopefully.
Oh,
But
and what is it? The Odyssey. I'm looking forward to that.
oh, the Odyssey. The Odyssey should be good. It's
I
like the
am looking
hundredth
forward
time
to that.
telling it. But
I
we got
know
all the
somebody's
big
gonna get it
bucks.
right.
We got
Yeah.
all the big bucks. We got all the big characters playing it. Tom Holland's going to be in the Odyssey. Like
Yeah.
what?
Uh-huh.
It should be good.
Well,
I really hope it's good. I really hope they do it justice and it turns out all right.
Dude, Harry Hamlin, Clash of the Titans is still like one of the best ever Greek mythology type movies to date. And that's including the new Clash of the Titans that came out with Sam Worthington. Like, no, no, no. Like the old school Clash of the Titans. If you haven't seen it, find it. It's out there somewhere. It's a great show. It's great, great movie to watch. It does give you an appreciation for claymation. Like before CGI, man, people had to really work, man. And I'm not saying, CGI isn't work, but it was painstaking time and effort to put a lot of these movies together. Like stuntmen, I still appreciate a good stuntman. Uh, and it is unfortunately a dying art. Like I always talk about the movie Death Proof, right? And the young lady Zoe Bell is an actual stunt woman, and she was Uma Thurman's stunt double in the Kill Bill series. And Death Proof is like one of those Quentin Tarantino movies that's just weird, but it's so fun to watch. Like Kurt Russell playing stuntman Mike, and these are like cars being driven and crashed, and stuntmen doing their jobs, and I just appreciate that. Even though sometimes you see, oh well, that was a dummy that flew off the car. That's fine. I can deal with that. I'm cool with it. But the guys are still putting their lives on the line. Zoe Bell is a phenomenal stunt woman. Doesn't get enough credit in my opinion. But yeah, man, I still like old school, man. I like the way it's done, even if it's a little cheesy. You got to suspend reality. If you want to really enjoy something and get involved in it, you can't look at all the little things that you can't really replicate. You're like, yeah, I don't know if this is actually what would happen if we beheaded someone, but I'll take your word for it. Like I'm gonna go ahead and say that's not bad. That's what would happen in an explosion if my vehicle blew up. Okay, I get it. But I still enjoy it. Like the old action flicks are just the new action flicks. It's the same thing. It's just now they have big CGI stuff and flames, and the explosions are more grandiose and probably less because you only have to you could do as many takes as you want with CGI. With real explosions, like dude, we're gonna have to rebuild this building and blow it up again. It's gonna take too much time and money. So that's it. We're going with the first take. That's it. Coffee cups and everywhere. Set, boom mics being shown. Like, sorry, man, we don't have enough time to shoot it over. So that's it, man.
Yeah, and that's one of the things about this season and about this series that has been so cool is the fact that they've shot so much of it practically. And so
Absolutely,
it really pays off, right? Because the,
it
the the
does.
the depth is there and everything. And so yeah, the only thing that they did use it on was like stunts and then small details, really
Right.
small details, continuity details.
Right. And
So
like I said, I felt like I was on the battlefield. Like I was like watching
because we
the
were.
viewpoint from the helmet going into the mud. I'm like, dude, that like like it was just that small visor is all you have to, see things out. I'm like, yeah, how are we fighting in this? Like this is terrible. I have no peripheral vision. I'd have been complaining about the whole thing. I'm like, man, no, this is too heavy, man. I can't go out there with this on.
Yep.
And Duncan just went out there and went to work, man, like a real knight. So
Yeah. Now it was awesome. I'm excited. We'll be back on next Tuesday to bring you guys the finale to talk about what we thought about it. I'm sure there's going to be a big cliffhanger, of course, but
gotta have
we'll
it.
all be tuned in and ready to go next Tuesday. So join us.
Sounds good, man. For that, man, Thick Nick Fury out here.
All right, Captain Jack out here.